Most people are not reacting to your kindness. They are studying it. Every smile you forgive too quickly. Every favor you give too easily. Every time you stay silent when something feels wrong. It all gives them information. They are not always asking it out loud, but the question is there. How far can I go before this person finally stops me? That is the uncomfortable truth about human behavior. People do not always respect goodness. They respect limits. They do not measure your heart first. They measure your resistance. And when they sense hesitation, they move closer. When they sense guilt, they ask for more. When they sense fear of conflict, they begin to take control. You thought you were being patient. They saw someone who could be pushed. You thought you were being understanding. They saw someone who would tolerate disrespect and call it maturity. And once people decide you are easy to manage, the pattern starts quietly. They interrupt you more. They cancel on you more. They ask more from you and give less back. They explain away their behavior because they already know you will explain it for them. That is not bad luck. That is trained behavior. You taught them where the line was by refusing to draw one. This is the first truth. Kindness becomes dangerous when it has no guard. Unprotected kindness is not virtue. It is an open door. And people with hunger do not politely stand outside open doors. They walk in. They look around. They take what they can. Then they act surprised when you finally call it stealing. Boundaries are not cruelty. Boundaries are the price of access. Without them, your kindness does not create respect. It creates opportunity. People do not test strength. They test silence. They test the pause before your answer. They test the nervous laugh. They test the long explanation. They test the apology you give before you have even said no. And if you never push back, they do not think you are peaceful. They think you are available. Available to be used. Available to be blamed. Available to be emotionally managed. Available to carry what was never yours. That is where the dynamic begins. Not predator and prey in the obvious way. No claws, no chase, no violence. Just pressure. A little guilt. A little criticism. A little disappointment. A little withdrawal of affection. And suddenly, you are performing for someone who should have been respecting you. Predators do not always look dangerous. Sometimes they look disappointed. Sometimes they look hurt. Sometimes they say, "I just thought you were different." That sentence is not love. It is a leash. They are trying to pull you back into the version of you that served them best. The version that overexplained. The version that apologized for having needs. The version that confused being chosen with being useful. This is the second truth. The more you explain your boundary, the weaker it becomes. Because explanation invites negotiation. And people who benefited from your lack of boundaries will always try to turn your clarity into a debate. You say, "I cannot do that." They say, "Why?" You explain. Now they are not respecting your limit. They are looking for the weak spot in your reasoning. Stop giving people maps to your hesitation. A boundary does not need a courtroom. It needs a sentence. "No, I cannot. That does not work for me. I am not available for that. Do not speak to me that way. I have already made my decision." No speech. No emotional performance. No begging to be understood. Because power is not loud. Power is final. Power does not overtalk. Power does not chase approval. Power does not decorate a note until it becomes easy to ignore. The people who command respect are not always the strongest, richest, or smartest. They are the clearest. You know where you stand with them. You know what they allow. You know what they refuse. You know there is a consequence behind their calm. That is what makes them difficult to manipulate. Not aggression. Consistency. This is the third truth. Boundaries are not built by what you say. They are built by what you stop allowing. You can tell people your standards all day, but if there is no consequence, there is no boundary. There is only a request, and requests can be ignored. A real boundary changes access. Someone disrespects you. They get less of you. Less time, less emotion, less information, less availability. Not as punishment, as protection. Because access to you should not be automatic. It should be earned by respect, maintained by consistency, and removed by repeated violation. Watch what happens when you finally do this. Healthy people adjust. They may not love the boundary, but they respect it. Manipulators escalate. They accuse you of changing. They call you cold. They say you are selfish. They act wounded by the very limit that exposed them. Good. Let them reveal themselves. A person's reaction to your boundary tells you more than their apology ever could. Because apologies are easy. Adjustment is evidence. Now understand this. Your silence can be more powerful than your explanation. Not the silence of fear, the silence of control. The silence that says, I do not need to convince you of my worth. Stop announcing every feeling. Stop explaining every decision. Stop giving unlimited access to your inner world. The more people know what scares you, what triggers you, what makes you desperate for approval, the easier you become to steer. Mystery is not manipulation. Mystery is self-possession. It means not everyone gets a front row seat to your mind. It means your emotions are not public property. It means people must meet your standards before they receive your depth. Predictability makes you easy to play. Control makes you difficult to reach. And distance, when used correctly, forces people to reconsider your value. Because presence creates comfort, but absence creates weight. Now comes the final truth. If you feel used, overlooked, drained, or taken for granted, it did not happen in one moment. It was built. One tolerated comment, one ignored instinct, one fake laugh, one forced yes, one moment where you abandoned yourself to keep someone else comfortable. A pattern is not broken by realizing it hurts. It is broken by becoming unavailable to repeat it. You do not need to become cruel. You need to become precise. Precise with your time. Precise with your energy. Precise with your words. Precise with your access. No more emotional discounts for people who keep proving they are expensive. No more loyalty to people who only value you when you are useful. No more calling yourself nice when what you really mean is afraid to disappoint. The moment your standards become visible, your life will start rearranging itself. Some people will leave. Let them. That is not rejection. That is removal. Some people will respect you more. Let them. That is not luck. That is alignment. Because the world does not respond to who you secretly are. It responds to what you consistently permit. So stop trying to be understood by people who profit from misunderstanding. Stop seeking approval from people who need you weak to feel powerful. Build discipline. Build silence. Build standards that do not collapse the moment someone looks disappointed. Real power is not rage. Real power is calm. It is controlled. It is quiet. It is steady. It does not beg. It does not explain itself to death. It does not return to places that taught it pain. And once you feel that kind of power, you will never confuse being nice with being free again. So ask yourself, who has been testing your boundaries? And more importantly, why are they still allowed close enough to try?